And I thought the most interesting part of that conversation or that Q&A was when Jeff Sessions says that he told the White House of his intent to recuse, even after the White House had indicated that they did not believe he should do so.
So clearly, this administration hearing the calls from within their own party, including those led by the House Oversight Committee Chairman Jason Chaffetz, the Republican from Utah, for Attorney General Sessions to recuse himself, not only from any existing investigations. That was an interesting piece of nuance there when he said any existing investigations into the election, but also any future investigations. But make no mistake, Attorney General Sessions also pushing back against a potential future political rival for this administration in Senator Al Franken, the Democrat who engaged in that political exchange with him at that Senate confirmation hearing. He said at this recent press conference that he interpreted the result, he interpreted Senator Franken's question to mean beyond just the wordage that he was asked about, and that he stood by himself. But clearly, Attorney General Sessions viewing himself as too much of a political distraction. This administration moving swiftly and quickly to try to put this behind them. The question now becomes, who will lead any future investigation, and when will that be announced?
And of course, we're looking at President Trump deplaning Air Force One at Joint Base Andrews, arriving at home after speaking at Newport News, Virginia, on board the Gerald R. Ford. SSS Gerald R. Ford.
So, Kevin, break it down. Fundamentally, what was Attorney General Sessions' explanation for the gap between what he did do and what he said to the Senate during his confirmation hearings?
There's no question that this was Attorney General Sessions viewing himself as too much of a political distraction, and the pressure intensifying here in Washington, inside the Beltway, on this administration to provide some type of answers regarding what exactly happened during the presidential campaign, about that campaign's alleged communications with Russia. For anyone who thought that former President Barack Obama's, that the report regarding the meddling of Russia in the electronics of the Democratic National Committee, that was the end of this chapter, it's becoming increasingly clear that it is not. And again, the question now becomes, Joe, who will lead this potential future investigation? The Republicans on the U.S. Intelligence Committee are going to be facing, without question, a lot of pressure. Now, they do have one ally on the Democratic side of that committee, and that is, of course, Senator Joe Manchin. He has publicly defended the administration and taken a much more tepid response, in contrast with Democratic leaders being led, of course, by the likes of Senator Chuck Schumer, who has forcefully called for Attorney General Sessions' resignation.